Hello everyone, my name is GenesisNexus and welcome back to my channel, or if you're here for the first time, welcome to my channel. This video is going to be the second part to my first video, which is a Wuthering Waves slash kurogames like feedback slash suggestions video. Kind of had just ideas brewing in my head, so I wrote them all down and decided to make a video about it to kind of also give my thoughts and then see if the community wants to give theirs as well, like in a unified manner. I'm going to try to do as many visual representations of what I have in mind. Some of the ideas for the second video, I may not have some visual representations, but I will try my best. But other than that, without further ado, let's get into the video. The first idea I had for this is coming for the Battle Pass or the Pioneer podcast. As you can see, we have about 15 days left, and I'm already at level 51. By the time I finish, these weeklies and even some of these seasonals, which these seasonals do not count towards the weekly limit, I'm probably going to be done with this. Or I'll probably get super close. So I'll have a lot left over. And one idea I had for this is to copy a system from Girls Frontline 2, because I always think that, hey, yeah, learning from other games will help make better games in the future. And as you see, when we get to this final level of level 70, there's nothing else past this point. I know back in 1.0, I think all of this used to be like credits, but they made a better system now. And I was thinking of, I'm going to bring it up right now, Girls Frontline 2. As you can see in Girls Frontline 2, actually, let me move myself if I'm going to talk about this. Sorry. I'm just going to move myself over here. And, sorry, I'm going to move myself over here into this corner. But, as you can see in this right-hand corner, when you finish off the battle pass, even the free one, they have this kind of like profit rewards thing. It's like a box that as you do more dailies and stuff, like I was slacking, but as you can see, there's tons of weeklies and stuff. I have some event stuff I need to finish off, which will be pretty simple. But they have a chance to like gain you extra materials and stuff, and even these collapse pieces at like a small chance. And collapse pieces in comparison to Wuthering Waves is the asterite. So just having this thing of like, oh, once you finish off the battle pass, just the more stuff you do, daily, weekly, seasonal, it'll add up to a certain amount, and then you'll get a box, and then it's a RNG chance to pull. Now, the reason why I think it would be great to add in Wuthering Waves as like an extra option here when you finish level 70 is, I believe it was in 2.0, they added these boxes, these podcast advanced boxes. They have like green boxes, they have these blue boxes here, and they have really great stuff in them. Like as you can see, they have the resonance potions, which are for characters, energy for the weapons, and then sealed tubes for echoes. And then they have shell credits, because I know a lot of people early game had problems with shell credits. So I was thinking like, having that extra box that you saw in Girls Frontline 2, so people who do cap on this thing and they finish it off and they keep doing the weeklies, they keep doing the seasonal events and stuff, it can add up to a certain amount and then give out these boxes. And I'm trying to make it so that it's fair and it doesn't give like crazy amounts, but adding these boxes I don't think would hurt the economy in the game, because I think I could speak for a lot of people, and a lot of people would agree with me. We do not get enough of the echo tubes or any of these things for that matter. So getting the extra of these would be great. Like, hey, we've already finished Battle Pass, now we get this extra stuff. It's just nice things that keep promoting playing Wuthering Waves. And then for people who only do dailies, they could probably finish it off and still get a couple of the extra stuff. And I think this box should be a small percent chance, and asteroids should be a small percent chance. It's just an added thing that I had an idea for. And also on that topic, if it would be nice if these boxes could be in more places than just the battle pass, because I play Wuthering Waves, this other game, Punishing Grey Raven. I also mentioned this other game in my previous video. But in here we have a thing called Simulated Battlefield. After you finish maxing it out and everything, it follows over with every event. In here we have, it's like an event shop, and as you can see, there's important items, like these are for echoes, or the echo equivalents in PGR, which are memories. We have the Ascension material boxes, we have EXP stuff, and then we have what cog boxes and stuff, which would be the equivalent of these. Funny enough, this box is more similar to cogs, but it also has other stuff. I was thinking, like, if these could also be added into the game, for example, where is it down here? The Fantasy of 1,000 Gateways, like added as a thing, because I think here is where you get the unborn echo boxes. It would be nice to have that plus these boxes added there, or in future events, just as like giving players more things, because I think a lot of players can agree when you do even tacit fields, and I'm going to talk on the tacit fields next, but you don't get enough of these tubes. I'm not a person who does what we call like 25 booms, where you go to an echo and you're like, hey, yeah, I want to do this echo. So you just go upgrade, and then people don't even do add by step. They just do no level cap, and they go straight from 0 to 25. I do them each by step. And I think giving us more of them would be nice for the player base. Sorry, I'm just going to choose which... This is Thundering Memphis. So I want Nightmare Thundering, if I can have him. Do I not have Nightmare Thundering? Alright, so I'll just use this one. Oh, no, I do. Nice. So, to step into my next idea is something that I think a lot of us who've played other games, Hoyo games, or even people who play Girls Frontline 2 or PGR, and I'm going to bring it up, but the idea of allowing unleveled echoes to be used or converted into tubes. And I think I thought of like a lore accurate reason. For those who don't know, Baija and Mortefi, two characters who are in the game, they work in Jinzo, and they're in some scientific research lab. It's shown to us early in the game. And I was thinking, for a lore accurate reason, maybe those two plus the Black Shores decided to do a collaborative effort or something to, we discovered this new way to convert echoes into the tuner or the tubes. The reason why I say that is, as you can see here, I have over 9,000 tubes. I know friends who joined the game back in after the Game Awards thing, so 2.0, and they have 9,000 tuners. Now, this 389 like golden tubes may seem nice, but that's because I'm not tapping for anything. I'm not trying to upgrade any of my builds. I would love to, but the amount required is kind of crazy. So, for example, I'm going to tap, and I'm like, oh, that's not a bad, because I like energy regen. Okay, that's not bad too. It's not the best. On that, but since I got 2 good rolls, I'm going to go for a third. Okay, attack. And then, okay, resident skill. Not the best. I think this is what? Oh, I'm technically going to consider this a 3 out of 5 because I like energy regen. But now that I've done that, I come in here and like, how many of those? Like, yeah, all the blues are gone, the purples are almost gone, and I'm going right into the things. So it's just like, I can do maybe a handful of things, and from my previous video, you saw how I asked for more 4-star characters and to address older 4-star characters and 5-star characters. And to build these characters, you need the echoes. So I was just thinking, whether it be at a rate of like every 3 unleveled echoes, or maybe even 5 unleveled echoes, even, hey, if we want to go super crazy, 10 to one yellow tube or the golden tubes for Echo EXP, it would be a great additional thing. Or as you saw earlier, I mentioned, hey, please add more ways to get the boxes from the Pioneer cast, because these also have, for example, these golden ones have the premium tubes in here. So the reason why I think it's just like a good thing, and I'm gonna try to show for anyone who's played like Honkai Star Rail, you know that you can utilize your underleveled light cones to level up light cones, or even underleveled gear to level up gear, or unleveled gear to level up gear. And it's just that idea. All right, hello YouTube. Sorry for this abrupt cut in the video. I thought it would be better to show you a visual representation of what I was talking about with Honkai Star Rail. This is for those who don't play that game, who have never had played that game, because I know there's some who don't. But to just show you what I meant with using unleveled items or echo, or in terms of HSR, light cones or armor or gear to level up other gear. So if I come in here, this is for my Saber, who is from the Fate collab. So as you can see, unleveled, it's at level 1. Now you have the option of using these things, which are expressly, like as you can see here, it shows you, hey, yes, this is for light enhancement materials for light cones. This would be in Wuthering Waves, are tubes. So whether it's the EXP potion for the characters or the weapon cores for the weapons, but this is for the light cones, which are essentially our echoes in HSR. So as you can see, I could either use these, or I can exclusively use these, or I can use these plus light cones, whether they're leveled light cones or unleveled light cones. Now, as you can see, I did that. Now, if I come, actually, I'll use the blue ones since they're the lower rarity. As you can see, oh, it's because it's max rarity. Maxed out, sorry. I think I can even tell it to use, yeah, auto add has that, but whatever. So as you can see, it's a level 1 echo, and I could start, you could see the level going up here, and I could just start using them whenever. So maxed amount reach, but that's just a visual representation. I'm gonna even level it up just to show you, hey, yeah, it worked. Now we also have the option of here, and this is what I would love for Wuthering Waves to do, is a salvage feature. As you can see this, you can have whatever set up. Oh, if I have excess light cones, or in this case excess echoes, I select all, and it turns them into the material that we would use. It would turn them into tubes. Now, if Wuthering Waves could have something similar to this, I think that it wouldn't be disliked by the community. I think this would be a great thing for the community. I think I even speak about it later in this video, but I just wanted to show you a visual representation. As you can see, there's the extra tubes, and there's thing. And depending on whatever rarity, whether it be these purple ones or the gold ones, you would get the higher level tubes. But yeah, I just wanted to kind of make that. Oh, I should probably, before I even try to quickly jump off, this is gear, and I'm just gonna choose this random one. As you can see, it's level 0, and I can also put gear into it, even if it's unleveled gear. But yeah, I just want to quickly show that. But let's get back to the video, and thank you again for watching. It's like a weird thing where other games allow for conversion of unleveled stuff to be turned into EXP, because I think the Wuthering Waves team has heard it for the longest period of time that, hey, yeah, we need more echo tubes, and as much as we get like I think the weekly ones or like the monthly ones from the store, sorry, is it, yeah, in this point shop thing here, like I think you only get like what, a handful of these. Yeah, like maybe like 25. And as you saw, I used maybe like 25 of stuff just to even level someone. Like if I go back down, And it's across the board from weapons to echoes to even characters. If I come to Lin Yang, how many? As you can see, I barely have any of those. Use two of those, two of these. But if I use a character who's like maybe level 70, like Jianshin, oh, I need those so I can't level her. Oh, are all these characters like missing ascension mats? I'm looking like a fool right now. I'm so sorry. Can I ascend her? Yes, space. Baja. Saving me at the end. As you can see right there, just to get her to level 70, we know that the max for Wuthering Waves is 90. I'm already using 21 of these just to even get her to 70. 80 is going to need more, and then going up to 90 is going to need more. So hopefully they can look into this. They can mention it, because I think some of the feedback surveys mention stuff like this. So just kind of want to bring it back up. And if anyone has a better idea on how they can do this, please put that in the comments down below so that they can see it and I can see it, and I'll maybe even make an updated video on that. And then for the next thing, since I'm in the character screen, I'm going to move up to Carthia, is for the loadouts. I love loadouts. Thank you for these loadouts. 20 loadouts. But I was thinking maybe we could do, instead of these, as you can see, these loadouts are more just general loadouts. Maybe you could copy something from Punishing Grey Raven. And the reason why I'm saying that is if I go back up to the top, I'm going to use actually, I'll use someone different. Where is she? Lightning Team. Feral. Where's Feral? Right here. These memory sets are the equivalent of echoes, though they don't roll with random stats. As you can see in PGR, there's like this basic set, which is loadouts of echoes or memories that every character can use. I can even name them and stuff. They tell you the stats, and then whatever resonant skills are on them. But then there's an exclusive set that I can use just for my character. And what I'm asking for here is for the same for Wuwa. As you can see, we have 20 sets here for general, so anyone can touch these. But maybe a button down here or something to swap to your character-specific ones. Because certain characters can be used in different ways. Like, for example, I think it was Rexcellent who used Yoo-Hoo and made her super strong to the point where she was capable of like doing the holograms, the maxed out holograms. Maybe he wants to have different builds he can test, and loadouts would allow for that. Instead of having them here and taking up space here, they would be specific for Yoo-Hoo. And as you can see, she's also a healer, so you could also make another set that's more general for healing. I think that's it for that kind of like expansion idea that I had for the loadout system. And I don't think anyone would have a particularly a problem with it, but if you do, once again, please put it in the comments. And then let's move on to tuners. An idea for tuners that I had. This one may be divisive, but as you can see, tuners in Wuthering Waves, not only do you have to roll to get any of the stats, it's the numbers here have their own range that they can roll in. I want to see if there's a character, I think Cardathea. Like, for example, the lowest I've seen crit rate go is, I think, what, 6.9%? But I think it can go up to like 9 point something percent. And even crit damage, that's a super low crit damage because that's 12.6. I think the highest it can go is like at 18% or higher. Let me double check. Did I get lucky? Oh, yeah, there's a 6.9 for that. There's a 13.8. Who on my team has higher crit damage? Is it maybe Zani? Or am I capping? Oh yeah, here's a 17.4%. And my idea for this was maybe there's a possibility of utilizing the tuner system, like an extra thing tab right here, to either lock in this specific roll and re-roll all of these, and as the more you lock, the more expensive it costs in tuners, and it will also reset these, and you can then have another tab where, hey, yeah, not only are these locked, but these are locked, and then you're really re-rolling for these. It gives a usage for people who have extra tuners and stuff, because I know some people who have all characters, all of them are kitted out, but then they have excess of stuff, and that is a matter of luck. And the game I'm going to bring up is Goddess of Victory Nikke for that, because they have a system like that similar with their gear. As you can see, I have rolls on my gear, which I think is this telling me? No, I think it's this change effects. Gives you this is all the stats you can roll for on this specific piece of gear and what percentage you'll get them at. And in the idea of, in here, you can use this material to either temporarily lock this slot, or you can permanently lock this slot, and then you can then click change effects and it would roll on all these. Oh, I did not want to click out, but let me go to this character, for example. And I know I want to roll for... Oh. Which one had it bad? Okay. I'm going to use this one just because I'm going to put 2 temp locks on it, and I know people are going to say this is a bad idea, but boom, reroll. The temp locks come off, and it would give me the choice of, hey, do I want to keep my old roll or move to the new roll? I'm going to keep because I lost the 3rd slot. But on the other side, the other tab, I can reset all the rolls, and it will tell me, oh, what's your chance of getting this maxed out, cracked out roll of 14% and stuff. And an idea of that, to bring it into Wuthering Waves, to allow people to really, like, those people who really like to min-max, they can get the chance to min-max. You still have the initial, like, hey, yeah, you come into a... Sorry, I'm, like, looking for an echo to roll. Like, you come into an echo, you still have to do this initial, like, unlocking, and thank you for this. I think you added this in 2.5 where you can just, as you, I'm going to just do this, it automatically unlocks or tunes the slot. Thank you for that. You still have to do all of that, but then having those 2 extra tabs to either re-roll for these stats or re-roll for the percentages. Because as you know, there's a wide range of percentages. And from there on, going from now, since we were talking about echoes, another idea I had, and I think someone else also mentioned this, is for the merging system. I think it was Ryuku Sensei who had this idea. I forgot. I think I was randomly going through the Twitch category and I saw him streaming, and so I popped in and he was talking about this. If I find the video where he was talking about this, I'll add it in the description box below. But what he was talking about is when we come here in this data merge, we all know people don't use these. It would be nice to just start off on this batch merge page. And sorry, one problem I have with the batch merge is I want to batch merge this right now. Oh, this is nice and all. I have to go through all these. And it boots me back out to this page. I still wanted the batch merge, so that's an additional click back in. Please just leave it here. But what he was mentioning is, as you see these echoes, the variance in echoes is going to get really, really big, and that's a little bit too much RNG. And as I think we right now have over like 10 different echo sets. Oh, yeah, or Sonata sets. There's like 3 here, 6, 9, 12, 15, and now we finally with this one from Furlova. So it's just, it's too much. And the idea he had, and I even thought about, was similar to the unborn echo boxes, which allow you to choose via tacit fields. It would be nice if you would click here and you would choose what tacit field that you would want to narrow down. You still have to get the right roles and the right main stats or whatever in the set, but it would instead of choosing from 18 Sonata sets, you would be choosing from 4. And what I mean by that is, if I go into our bag and take a look at the unborn echoes, where are they? Is this it right here? Yeah, unborn echoes. As you can see, if I choose this box, it's going to give me either Lingering Tunes or Rejuvenating Glow, Sierra Gale, and Freezing Frost. As you can see, some of these you may never want to touch again. Like Molten Riff and Rejuvenating Glow, or even Sierra Gale and Freezing Frost. Because a lot of characters are using the elemental afflictions like Air Erosion and Spectral Frazzle and stuff. So what if I just want to choose from there? Like, oh, look, Windward Pilgrimage and Flaming Clawprint. I think this is Lupa's, and then this one was Cardathia's. So when you click in on the two boxes, you'd be choosing this box or this box. And then now it's 4 sets you're looking through instead of the full 18. Now, I don't know if people agree with me or disagree with me. I think it's a pretty cool idea. I'm happy I even joined in on his stream at the point when Ryuku Sensei was talking about that, but that was just a good idea that I thought bringing it to the wider audience, hopefully they could give their thoughts on it. And if we're talking about that, then I think the last idea I have, this is in terms of echoes, the last idea for echoes is for the main stat selector. It would be nice. I know right now they currently only happen on unleveled echoes. It would be nice if you would just allow us to change it for leveled echoes as well. And if you have to increase the cost, like right now it takes 1 for an unleveled echo. Maybe it'll take 2 or 3 or even 5 for a leveled one. And the reason why I say that is because early in Wuthering Waves, a lot of people were using crit rate on stuff, and people still use crit rate to this day on their main 4-star echo. Like, as you can see, my Changli, do I have the old one? Like, I think this was my old one for Changli. It would be nice if, like, what if someone had like a full 5 on all 5 substats that she needed, but it was crit rate? It would be nice if you could just swap that to crit damage. I don't think it would hurt the game balance or economy or how players build. It was just an added quality of life for that thing. Like, for example, we have this Phantom construct. Like, this one has, where is it? Has 3. I thought I saw 4. Oh, this one has 4. That would be great if I could swap this for crit rate. Or what if this was crit rate and I want to swap it to crit damage? So that's just the thought I had, because I know people build things in different ways. Some people do not build the same way as others. Like even this one, I think I just recently updated Yinlins to have Nightmare. Is this my normal one? Oh yeah, ooh, that one was bad back then. But now that we're done with talking about echoes for now, the next idea I have is for events. This is, and I'm gonna be kind of controversial, is this event. I like it. I want more of it. And no, Dreaming Deep does not even come close. I would prefer, now this is my opinion, if they expand this to be what Elusive Realm was in the past. So it was like maximum replayability, and it was just a lot more to be done and experience. And as much as I like this, it just wasn't it. Because I know for a lot of people when they started out, like the 160 asteroid, which was essentially what, 1 pull, wasn't too great. And expanding this would help with endgame, because I'm going to bring up another game. PGR once again. And PGR has a ton of endgame, whether it's permanent or not permanent. So I'm going to go into the challenge tab. These are the stuff that have like what? I think that's 2 weekly. These are this is weekly, and then this is like every 2 weeks or something like that. I'm going to do it to this week. But then they have a whole set of other things that are permanent and stuff. Even like the Mindscape pack, which I'm going to mention in my PGR video. But like it's tons of stuff where rewards can be gained and is liked by the community. Like this helps your account, period. Like some of the stuff is just, and I think, oh yeah, look, there's even more. Like I'm barely done with this or even started on these, but you can see it. Like it's just the opportunity for endgame modes or just playable modes, period. And I think this needs to be updated. Now, I know earlier I mentioned that Dreaming Deep just wasn't hitting it. I won't lie. I watched a friend who joined Wuthering Waves back in 2.0 after the Game Awards stuff. This ain't it. Now, it still has some of the lovable features of this. And I know they added some quality of life to it. But it ain't it. I don't know if you were doing it for the sake of this, like, hey, yeah, you have like each story or screenplay or whatever it was or film. I'm not gonna lie. The idea that what my friends had and what I had is this is tedious, to say the least. And it's not a good type of tedious, and I don't think tedious can be good in any way. But I'm fine with leaving this as is. Maybe do some more quality of life for it, but leave it as is. Upgrade this or enhance it back to what Elusive Realm was so that people can just enjoy Elusive Realm without any of the extra like chibi mode in this thing. Like leave that to this. And like I showed you in PGR, there can be tons of endgame things to do or weekly things to do. So they won't necessarily hurt each other. And yeah, that's it for those two. But I'm going to skip ahead on my list a little bit because I want to talk about the event tab organization. As you can see, there's a lot. There's even this tab for permanent ones. Similar to, I guess they were trying to do something similar to PGR's like permanent ones here. But I think these tabs need to be like extended or something. And then also another tab that's just completed. So like, for example, I'm here. I finished this already. As you can see, 6,000 out of 6,000. Oh, can you see? Yes, you can see. Sorry. My brain is just, I forgot that I moved myself to the side of the screen. So I'm going to move myself back. Fuck it. Deal with it. I'll deal with that later. But as you can see down here, featured and permanent. There needs to be another one for completed. This right here shouldn't even be in the event list. Move it to completed. If I've finished, because I know tons of people already finished their TOA already for the week or the month, put it in completed. Oh, you finished all these trials to get the asteroid and all the rewards? Put it into completed. Just to like minimize the amount of things that are on this screen. Because once again, I'm going to come back to PGR. PGR has their events listed here. They also have them listed here for other events. When you finish them, they disappear from here and they disappear from here. And you're like, what do you mean by that? For example, I just recently finished an event with a great Thunderbolt manual. They added this not too long ago. And it had multiple phases and missions to go through. It would give out weapons and characters. Yeah. And as you can see, it had its own like in-depth thing. But once you finished it, you were done. They took it off from right here so you don't have to see it. It's not leaving something to confuse a player. It's like, hey, yeah, you've done it. Get it out the way. And I think it would help with like the bloat of the screen. Like for example, like these weekly ones, like, and uh, it's funny that I keep having to go back to this. I didn't finish it this week since it just restarted, reset today. But Warzone, when you finish, oh, I don't know why it booted me out like that, and I clicked the wrong thing. Sorry, this is for the DMC collab. Oh my geez. I'll have to. Nah, I'm gonna leave this in because that's fine. When you finish something like this, Warzone or Phantom Pain Cage, they disappear off the screen, and these other events that you haven't finished, they pop up. They move up on that screen as like the more important things to do. And you would have to come into this specific challenge screen to see them again. Like for example, Warzone and well, mainly Warzone. You can redo this as many times as you want, just like TOA. You can change out your build, your characters, and come back and redo it for more scores. I didn't do it today because it literally just reset. But that's just an idea. As you can see, Whimpering Waves and stuff can be moved to the completed, and people can keep doing them if they want to, or at least TOA they can. But yeah, that's the idea. I hope people like that idea, and I just wanted to mention it. But now to go back to the ideas I had for just the open world and WoW in general. I know recently Gotcha Smack came out with a video about exploration in Wuthering Waves. And I know some people agree with him, some people don't. I like the video that he put out, and hats off to you, Gotcha Smack. That was an incredible thing because I'm an RPG player. You guys know it. I've probably said it on my channel in the past, and see probably even in my description. But the world of Wuthering Waves, there's nothing like dynamic happening. To say the least. Like when you start up the day, maybe the daily quest will say, "Oh, come over here to defeat like exiles over here, or come over here to defeat a tacit discord." And one of the ideas I had to keep it, and it's all, once again, I'm gonna try to do lore accurate events. Is hey, what if in the lore of tacit discords they pop up every now and then? They cause damage and stuff. What if you got a call from the Black Shores or the Midnight Rangers from Jinzo that, oh, over here is like, there's a random waves of tacit discords that are coming towards Jinzo to attack. And as we know, there are NPCs patrolling. What if you came there and you could call for reinforcements, which would be co-op. You could, hey, call your friends or randomly matchmake, and it would give a reason to have more co-op in Wuthering Waves. And you would go, you defeat them in waves, and maybe at the end of it, a boss would come out, and maybe while you're fighting them, maybe, where am I next to? This is Tempest Memphis. What if he comes out and he starts attacking? If you're doing that with co-op with friends, that would be a cool thing to fight Tempest Memphis outside of his like tacit field. And maybe if you're a little bit closer up here, maybe you get I think Heron is up here. No, Heron's all the way up here, but maybe you get Thundering Memphis or even Crownless popping up like somewhere in this zone, like as you're doing things. Well, over here would probably be Dreamless. It would be a nice reason to get, or Crownless to get over, bring them out. And that's just an idea, like a mob wave event. And for rewards, you can literally, like I mentioned earlier in the video, you can give the Unborn Echo boxes. Sorry, I'm going to move away from here. I don't know why Renacita keeps going thundering. Or you can give these boxes. Or a combination of both. Reward the players for playing the game, playing with co-op, playing with friends. And outside of just, hey, yeah, come in here, do an event with friends here, and then never matchmake again. Because I think in the beginning of the game, a lot of us were matchmaking or co-oping with friends or doing stuff. Like, for example, Elusive Realm, some people were matchmaking. I think even in this, I think there's an option to matchmake, but there's literally no real reason to do it. I have to double check. I want to make sure I'm right. Yeah, you can matchmake with people, but there's literally no reason to do so. So that's an idea. for friends and for them to look at. And then a solo event idea I had. Now imagine you are exploring the world of Wuthering Waves and you come across the character I'm playing right now, Calcharo. As we know, Calcharo popped up in the... Sorry, this may be spoilers, so I'm kind of going to wait a couple more seconds. But, okay, now spoiler warning is over. Calcharo popped up in, I think it was 2.1 or 2.2. He popped up in Renacida, or at the end of 2.0 maybe. He popped up in Renacida just kind of like at our event with everyone relaxing. We just beat the bad guy. So I was just like, what if in the open world you were walking around and you found Calcharo and you maybe dueled him? Just a cool duel and stuff. And once again, the rewards are those boxes. And you can maybe even give a trophy, a title, like, oh, you beat the Wandering Resonator or the Wandering Tainted Resonator, whatever you want to call it. And maybe it can even give you a title. And the reason why I'm saying the title and stuff, because you could have multiple modes for this. So for the people who are casual, you can have a normal mode where you fight them. As you're talking to him and you're like, oh, let's duel, it'll give you the option of normal. So casual people, he'll have like trial gear on and stuff. He'll have full access to all of his things at level 90 or whatever level sync you want to do it. And then you can have like a hard mode. And this hard mode idea I have is kind of controversial. You can either make it hard mode where, hey, yeah, you can tease new abilities you maybe want to add in the game for bosses and you can give them to these resonators. Or you can make it harder by saying, hey, yeah, if you have this character available, Calcharo is now using your character's gear. So let's say my Calcharo had like the stats of like my Zani or my Carlotta. So like 2.4k crit rate and crit damage. Now you have to fight this guy where he's critting and he's critting hard. Now, of course, you will have to reduce the damage because we don't have as much HP as bosses. But it would be a kind of a funny or cool thing to just duel the bosses and then have like a hard mode. And it would be wandering. So you could find them around the map, find him. You can maybe find Yinlin because we haven't seen Yinlin since her story. So maybe you find her. Maybe she's secretly in Septimont or something like that. Or even Chang Li pops up. And a final duel idea I had is maybe you can mention Genshu Lin, who is shown in 1.0 but then never talked about again. And for those who don't know, Genshu Lin was the general of Jinzhou before our main guy Calcharo. Not Calcharo, Jian. My bad. I did you dirty, Jian. And I believe I have a photo of Genshu Lin. I just want to bring it up real quick. Where is my thing? Ah, yes. All right. Here we go. This is Genshu Lin. We saw him in a cutscene, I think 1.0, 1.1. I think there was another like submission. I think it was in Jian's campaign story. We saw him again maybe. And it's just like he was leaked earlier. Now I'm not talking about like leaks. I'm talking about like he was shown to us as the players of the game through the story, and he was so cool. And like he has a cool design, and I know there are tons of people who ask, hey, can we have more male characters in the game? This would be the definitive. Like, hey, this guy exists in the lore of the world. Find a way to add him. Maybe you can tease him in the world like, oh yeah, you found him. You don't know. It's just like question mark, question mark, question mark. I know for anyone who's a fan of RPGs like I am, there are tons of bosses that have that name too. So you can do it like that. And you could test out his gameplay beforehand. And yeah, that's just an idea I had for that. And that could be the solo one because there'll be 1v1. Another idea I had was a potential like snowboarding event. Now, I know I'm trying to give just like a lot of variables and or crazy stuff. I think it was down here. Yes, where we fight Jue. Now, I thought it would be a cool idea because when you slide down from Jue's, the top of the statue, top of here, if you go down over there and you start sliding down there, it's kind of like a pseudo snowboarding thing. But I thought it'd be a cool thing to have a snowboarding thing, or even jump from here. Maybe you have people start from here, they grapple up into the air, and then they land on a rail and they start going down. And the idea of this was, I think it was in 2.4 where we started off the story with Cardathea, and she was doing some rail like kind of thing in the story mode. And it would be nice to kind of utilize that in the open world as an event. You can make it come back every now and then, but just a nice event or something like that. You could probably do that or some other racing event in the world. And to piggyback off of that, I do want more leisure stuff or leisure co-op events, because we did have the Overdash, I believe it was called the Overdash racing event. I think it came out during 2.0 down in Renacida. Sorry. Just want to click on this. And I think I don't remember where we particularly started. I think it was maybe on the bridge or something, but it was a really cool event to race with friends around the map and stuff. So, and even random people too. I know some people did mean stuff like taking people's power-ups before they got to them so they couldn't take them. But that's just an idea I had for that. And before I move on to more like my last idea, something just came up in my head, was how I mentioned having wandering duels and stuff for a solo event. I think a lot of people would agree if it would be nice to see the characters from other regions or the characters within a region, like I know we see Carlotta if we go to the Montelli Quarter or something like that, but it would be nice to see them out in the world or out in the story of like Septimont or something. Maybe they came around. Because as like I said before, Calcharo popped up in Renacida. Like, it wouldn't hurt to have these characters appear more in your world to make your world seem more alive. Them talking to each other or them just talking to NPCs in the world would be nice. So I wanted to bring that up before I move into two of my last ideas, or actually three of my last ideas. And one of those ideas is, I think the event just ended. It was Virtual Crisis. And it is where we get, sorry, where is it? Not this title, but where is it? Yeah, Virtual Crisis. It would be nice if this is just a permanent event. Just a permanent event. And then you put a timer on it and then it resets. I think PGR has similar events to that. Like, I know Warzone gives a title. This Class Reflection. There's even other events here, more permanent, like Awakening Tundra and stuff. But it would be nice to just keep that event, because I know a lot of people love that event with all the modifiers and stuff, fighting bosses, fighting enemies, and it would just be a nice thing to add. And the reason why I say you can kind of keep it to make it similar to, where is it, PGR? Class Reflection. For those who don't know, in Punishing Grey Raven, they have this. It resets, I think, every 2 weeks, if I'm exact. I just play it. I play it and I love it. And as you get further, as you can see, there's 14 battles. And at the end, you're fighting the boss. And I think when you get to like round 7 is when you start fighting like bosses onwards. And they give you rewards and stuff. And I think, yes, also we have stage affixes. So this one benefits the characters or your team. But as you get further, there may be ones that help out the enemies. And that's just the idea, because this is similar to what Virtual Crisis was. But Virtual Crisis is more in depth, and I think it should just stay as a permanent event, or like a weekly or bi-weekly one, similar to like TOA, and it resets on like a time thing, so people can just play it and enjoy it with maximum amount of time and effort. Because you never know when someone will get a better echo and stuff to be able to do new stuff. All right, and from that, and also from that is to talk about this other event idea that I had. This is a different one. It's a swarm slash horde event for anyone who's played like Call of Duty Zombies or something like that in WUA. Like I said earlier, tacit discords in lore, they tend to, a lore head, maybe like Life Lessons Gaming can correct me on this, but maybe you had just random enemies spawning on the map and you had to go there, and you can either make it co-op or solo, and every I envision this similar to the game I mentioned in my last video, Warframe, where they have like a defense mode where you have to defend a place, and then you have like every 5 waves, then you can fight like a big monster or something, or a big, maybe a crownless comes out and you have to fight them, or a Lorelei comes out and you have to fight them. And then you can choose to, you're getting rewards leading up to that fifth stage or fifth wave. And at the fifth wave, after you beat it, you can decide whether to stay and continue going another 5 waves, or leave with whatever rewards you have at the time. I'm just trying to give a different idea of events or end game stuff for people to do. And if let's say you decide to go, you stay and do that extra 5, but you get to like the 9th wave or like the 19th or the 39th wave, because for Warframe it can go on for a while, depending on how strong your team is. Maybe you fail the 39th wave, so you don't get to the 40th wave, and you don't get the, what happens is you don't get the rewards from that set of 5. So from 35 to 40, you wouldn't get those rewards. You would get everything you had leading up to 30. And that was just an idea I had. And at those interval points, you could have bosses spawn. I mentioned that before. And yeah, I think other than that, I have one final thing I would like for Wuthering Waves to bring back, and that is the Dreamlink functionality. For those who don't know, Dreamlink was something we had early in the game. It was pretty fun. I think it was in the elusive realm. Sorry, I'm gonna just try to bring it up. Ooh, and what it was essentially every character in your team using their ultimates. Do I have... Okay, no, I don't have an image of it. Sorry, I just want to bring it up. Okay. So I'm just going to have to go to this website, and I'll use this website as my point of reference. Okay. All right. As you can see here, it's on the Game 8 Co website. I had to Google it really quick. What would happen is your characters would both use their ultimates at the same time. And as you can see, it even mentioned it was only available for the Somewhere Labyrinth event. Can't use this outside the game. I don't know why you guys came up with such a cool idea and you decided not to use it outside of just one game mode. Like, as you can see here, it was allowing for up to like all 3 people to use their ultimates. And I just thought it was a really cool feature that they added, and then they just never utilized again. I see games do that a lot, and it's just like, hey, kind of like for anyone who played League of Legends, we had Earth mode where everyone can get their ultimates really quickly and stuff, and it was super cool and super fast and super chaotic. But I think that in the context of Wuthering Waves, Dreamlink could really be utilized outside of just that game mode. Like using that in the open world, maybe charging up everyone's ultimate and then blasting it all at the same time would be a cool thing to add. It gives kind of like other players the ability to do different things. Because if, like, for example, if everyone's like a DPS, like, because we're doing like, what is it? For example, the mono fusion team is probably the only mono team right now. Oh no, that and like Cardathia's team. But how cool would it be if Lupa did her ultimate, Brant did his ultimate, and Changli does her ultimate at the same time? And I think in the case of like the Carlotta team, because it's Carlotta, Zhezhe, and like Shorekeeper. What if Shorekeeper puts down her ultimate? We know Zhezhe's ultimate is just to like give the extra flying birds and stuff, and then you have to control Carlotta's one. So it would, if you weren't on Carlotta, it would swap you to Carlotta, so you can do the manual ultimates that you need to do. And yeah, that's just the idea I had. Hopefully you guys like it, or if you do dislike it, please let me know why in the comments down below. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and once again, I'm sorry for it being a long video. I'm just trying to explain my thoughts and also show you guys as much visual representations as possible. Please comment down below any ideas you have to make the game better, and I hope you guys liked it, and I will catch you again next time. Have a great rest of your days, and I will see you guys later.